Welcome to Inside the Nation podcast. I'm your host, Eric Thoreau.
And Tom Jones in the house.
He is back at it, like himself.
You too.
Okay,
we both back.
Yep. And we apologize for being MIA last week. But
What'd you say? Say that again.
MIA?
MIA, okay.
I think that's what they call it, MIA.
Yeah, but
Missing in action?
Yeah, but you said it so fast it sounded like you were Miley. Or
It
MIA.
could've been like the rapper, MIA.
MIA?
Yeah.
That's a rapper?
Yes, she is.
Oh, she's a
I think
she.
she's from India or something like that.
Really?
She has that shotgun one that has the shotguns going off in the sound, the
You
song.
learn something new every day. I didn't know that.
Yeah. People probably called her Mia, but it was actually MIA.
I haven't been keeping up with the latest Rhapsody.
Rhapsody? Are you talking about Real Player now? the streaming music cast from Real Networks that has gone down the ways.
Oh, yeah.
Has never kept up with iTunes.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
And by the way, you can listen to our podcast here on iTunes as soon as we get done with it and start uploading it.
iTunes, iHeart.
Nope, not on iHeart anymore.
Forget iHeart. As soon as we got there, we were gone. So forget iHeart. Why? What's up with iHeart? Anyways, that's a different story.
You know, iHeart Clear Channel.
Oh, jeez. Clear Channel? Say no more.
So, yeah. Well, anyways, you can hear our podcasts on, of course, SoundCloud.
Thank you.
Stitcher.
Wow.
Spreaker. You can hear it on TuneIn. iTunes.
Jeez.
YouTube.
Whoa.
And now Google Play Music.
Oh, man. Jeez.
And I've been working on communicating with Spotify. Spotify has launched their podcast format, but right now they're trying to go to the big Joes, trying to get them, which is understandable when you, from a medium platforms company, you want to start with the bigger, more well-established people so that you can get lure into your new format that you're doing. Why didn't Google Play do from that? They're open to everybody. But with Google Play, I found out if you go to Google Play from our website to listen to our podcast, they're only available on the internet right now, on your desktop version. There's no mobile platform for it yet. They're working on that. But also with Google Play, you need to log in. You have to have some kind of Google account to log in to visit the podcast and start playing them, which I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they'd make it just like a general, listenership.
Yes.
So the way you click on our link to go to Google Play Music to listen to our podcast episode or our catalog of our previous 10 episodes that we've done so far, and this is the 11th. And then you just go ahead and hit play, and you can listen at your ease. You don't have to log in or anything. Like with TuneIn, you can just go listen to. With iTunes, you can go listen to it. With Spreaker.
For a second, I thought that was a new one.
Spreaker. It's a speaker with the R in it, so Spreaker and Stitcher.
Not to be mistaken with Streaker.
Basically, everything else that we're on, you could go and just hit play, and you could do it at your casual, any of the episodes that we have. But with Google Play Music, they're the only ones that allow you, that need your sign-in. And maybe that's just as a quick launch thing they did at first, but maybe it'll become available so they might be more public. But as far as for me, when I log in as an administrator to the Google Play account, I don't see any kind of setting control to make it available so that way a particular user doesn't have to log in. I don't see that control. I'm going to email Google and see about them changing it, and also to see when it's going to be available on both the mobile platform and their mobile Google Play Music app.
Hang on, let me switch stations here. Let me switch Eric over to the AFL station. Hello.
Yeah,
Eric?
I'm just telling where we could go and listen to our music, our episodes here. Our episodes. But anyways, now back to what we're going to be talking about. That was just where you could get us and listen to us. So, and just another thing is we got a mobile app coming in the works too. So that's another thing. It's going to have not only our episodes, but we'll have everything you'll see on our mobile website on there too. So now let's get back to our topics of discussions, which first of all is going to be Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Now, are you talking about this upcoming Monday night or last Monday night?
Well, in general, you can say like last Monday night because it was kind of it broke the trend, and the trend is even back when ESPN had the contract to do Monday Night Football, it was that nobody won their game if they were the host team. It took it to overtime battle this past week against Portland, but Cleveland finally beat them. Even though I think Tyrone Gord should have kept his head together literally and not took his helmet off when he scored that basically game tying touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah, what's up with that?
With 2 seconds left, he catches the touchdown, and then he goes, and I guess he was off camera from the coverage. I was actually watching it from ESPN3 because I don't get the Televisa Univision network channel on my DirecTV, but because it's a Spanish package.
So you know what? I understand taking your helmet off because I've wore helmets before, football helmets, and you have to have it pretty damn tight. So if your head gets knocked off, the helmet will still stick to the head. Yeah. But still, it's like, you got to kind of be able to control yourself during the rules of the game because that could make a big factor.
Yeah, I also think there should be a letter of interpretation to that. If a guy takes his helmet off, let's say he's taking his helmet off to fix a strap or to check something out or check the pressure in the air pockets inside, and he wants his equipment manager to come fix it. That's one thing. But if he takes his helmet off to intentionally, to try to do it as a celebratory thing or a taunting thing, that could be another thing. We don't know how Tyrone took his helmet off because at least from the ESPN3, which is the feed we get from the Quicken Loans Arena interior cameras, the Jumbotron thing, and we don't know how he took his helmet off. One, because the camera switched, after he scored the touchdown. Even on replay, they didn't show it. So maybe the Televisa Univision broadcast showed it. Maybe not. I don't know. So there should be a leeway into how a particular player should be able to, after a play is over, especially when it's at the end of regulation, there's no time on the clock, and all they have to do is a PAT or something like that to end the game.
Yeah, but see, I get you what you're saying and everything, but let me just play devil's advocate. That'd be a good team name, Devils. Maybe Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, you're trying to hint towards Ted Leonsis to call himself the Washington Devils.
Yeah,
that's too political.
I better hold my hold my tongue.
We won't go there.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of stuff to talk about,
about the
politics wise, but
about the 2017 AFL participation teams. We'll get that next next point of conversation.
Okay, so the thing is, getting back to my point. I guess I had a point. Let me see.
About
so what if you take your helmet off, but then what if there is conditions to where, well, in this case it's okay, or that case it's okay. What is going to prevent somebody from actually taking their helmet off to delay game or taking their helmet off to try to use that as a reason or of advantage when in fact they're not doing it for the right reasons?
Yeah, like they could act like there's something equipment wise wrong with their helmet, but when in actuality there isn't.
Yes.
So that's the reason why they probably have a zero tolerance. They say, okay, well, if you're in the field of play, you cannot take your helmet off. Period, no matter what the reason is.
Now, if it falls off,
unless you go to an official, I guess, first,
yeah,
and you tell them, say, "Hey, look, I got to fix this," and on the call, and that may be okay.
Yeah,
but if you just take your helmet off in spite of whatever the reason may be, while you're on the field of play, even if it's at the end of regulation of an entire game,
wasn't there a game in the past, if I remember correctly? Let me backdigit. Let me rewind my memory of the many years of arena football.
Yeah,
but
we only have short time on this podcast here. Come on now.
Tell me about your childhood.
Not that far back.
So, wasn't there a case where the helmet fell off during play and the official called it and it was against the team? And I remember vaguely that there was a situation like that happening. It was very controversial at the time.
Was it a play to where a player got his helmet knocked off while he's in the middle of play and they called it as a penalty? Or
yeah.
And then he didn't take it off. He was like maybe being tackled, and the helmet flew off in the middle. of
some kind of
action.
weird thing like that. I forget.
I know they have a rule now that, as a matter of fact, I know if you go back to our podcast episode that we talked back in episode 7, where we talked with Butera about safety and those concussion things, and the sensors, of course, as you see now, have been removed from the back of the helmet. So there's no more concussion sensors for those protocols. I guess it's because there's too many ways saying that those sensors were going off too many times and when there was no need for it to go off at all, so they just removed them until they could get a better...
So the technology is flawed kind of right now.
Yeah, they need a more reliable source.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my thought is that Butera said that there was a new rule in this that is supposed to be taking place that's on the books for this year, that if your helmet comes off during the middle of play, that the refs are supposed to blow the play dead no matter what the situation is. And even if the player is immediately involved, like if you throw it to a receiver on the left side of the field, on the near side dashboards, and they're doing their play there, and then someone in the middle of the field, say like a lineman or someone that was blocking, gets their helmet taken off during the middle of play, boom, the play's supposed to be dead, no matter where the play is.
So what happens then in this case where if a player, wants to kind of disrupt the flow of the game, and there's a positive player that's going to impact like a game-winning play or something, should there be different rules on maybe the last minute of the game?
It's all up to interpretation.
Because the thing is what happens if the player wants to say, you know what, hey, look, they're making a huge play going the other way. Let me take my helmet off, and then the play comes back.
I think that
do they wait? Do they stop immediately, or even if they do whistle, can they still at least continue to play? Because that would suck. That would be unfair to the team, especially if it's on the other opposing team, or if the helmet was away from the play. So let's just say this positive game-winning situation comes up, momentum-winning situation comes up, and then for one reason or another, intentionally or non-intentionally, a helmet comes off from the existing team that's having that play, or
because you're still having to deal with where the player takes his helmet off, what situation that player is in. And I think it should be blown dead, but there's been times where during this week, multiple times I've seen that players' helmets have come off.
They do.
Not intentionally, but they come off, and the play's still going.
Yeah.
So apparently the refs didn't get that message saying that's a new rule that you're supposed to blow the play dead. Now, as far as for what you're saying, that if someone's trying to use that as a decoy to stop the play because they may be try to prevent a game-winning situation or try to stop the momentum of the game of the other team, then what you could do is say like within the last minute when it's mainly key of the second of the quarters, second quarter and the fourth quarter, because that's usually when momentum, of possession is key for the teams. Let's say that be a reviewable play, a challenge play. So if for now, let's say it stays to where a person will get penalty for that, okay? No matter what the situation is. But then the coach that would be like the one penalty a coach can, throw their challenge flag out. If they saw that player, they catch that player taking the helmet off and they say, well, I thought he took it off intentionally just to slow the play up, then the coach could feel like he could challenge that play. And that could be one of the challenge situations, just like on any other play that they may look at as being challengeable within the last minute of each half. I think that could be where a situation where it could be, because the last minute, that's more key for the game situation. But as far as the rest of the time, not challengeable. But that could be something that could be discussed as far as for the board of directors, for maybe next year, when making it as a challengeable play. But I don't think it has come across even the idea of someone taking their helmet off just to try to slow things down to stop the play, because as like we said, or as I said, that there's been several times where helmets have come off in the middle of play and the play continues.
So maybe it's just kind of a call on the field to see if if it looked intentional, or if it's play bearing, or if it's safety for the player, or whatever.
It's supposed to be a safety first issue. So when a helmet comes off, no matter what the situation, it's supposed to blow the play dead. I can speak really well, okay, but that's all just been called. Even that's something we could, as fans, if we want to protect our players, we could, write into Commissioner Matera and to the league office and say, hey, we think of that, it'll be a good idea to start making that a challengeable play if it happens from the coach's standpoint to where it happens to be where a player's taking their helmet off just to stop play because of the removal of the helmet means stop a play, blow the play dead, and it's ruining the momentum of the drive.
Yeah.
That's happening. But only to have it challengeable within the last minute, within the 1 minute warning, and that's it. And the same rules apply to where if it's determined by review that it looked like, on the camera that the person, if it's within camera view, too, the coach will have to also know that. So, like, he sees it, and he sees someone intentionally take their helmet off just to stop playing, and the play stops, and he wants to challenge, say, hey, that was that. And it's say a 5 or 10 yard penalty, whatever it may be, then he can do it. But he also has to make sure that if he's going to throw the flag out there, was that caught by the cameras? Because he has to judge that too, not just by him seeing it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of interpretation, and there's a lot of you can look at this way and that way and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if if any of that becomes comes to
fruition.
See, now you got me stuttering and bluttering. So getting back to the Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night was that we sort of spun off the Monday night with Tyrone Gore taking his helmet off and then causing Portland to get like the extra 10-yard kick on the PAT and changing the PAT into an actual field goal, and they missed it wide left. It seems like that'd be a common phrase on game winning.
So the Monday night curse has been officially removed as of this Monday.
You can say yes or no, because it's still stretched into overtime, and now the conversation is that everybody's saying, well, if you're two teams and you're going into overtime, and you're the visiting team calls heads or tails, whoever wins the coin toss for the overtime usually defers, just like they do at the beginning of the game for possession. That's a big controversy now, to where a lot of people saying, well, if you're going to defer, why defer? Why not take the ball first, score and get it done and over with, and then try to stop them? Because it could come to a situation to where if you're the team and you take the ball on offense first, and then that team, stops you and holds you just say like to a field goal, they come back and they can easily score a touchdown for the win instead of for a tie to continue the game into double overtime or whatever, to sudden death overtime. And so it's a mind game. You gotta rely. You can't just say here this. You also have a defense out there that has probably done stops out there. Even though this is an offensive minded scoring game, but you just gotta take it to where that the offensive way, this is so offensive scoring driven of a league, that's the reason why a lot of coin flip tosses are won, and then the team chooses to get the ball second because they know it's offensive driven, and when they score the touchdown and go for the 2-point or the 1-point, that's up to them, because it's all about mind game and having faith in what you think you could accomplish. So that's the minor thing. So
what do you think about some of the games that were played this week? You got the Portland.
The Portland-Cleveland game we just talked about.
Yeah, we got that one out of the way.
Arizona-Philadelphia, and Arizona losing their second straight game after going to Orlando.
Yeah, 58-65.
I think Philadelphia is starting to hit their peak. I think they're the way they were coming out short. Well, everybody was coming off being who they were supposed to be doing, but I think the league is finally settling down. And a picture of who may be the strong team in the playoffs is slowly, not yet, but slowly starting to develop on who's going to be the strong team in the playoffs. I know everybody's going to be made into the playoffs because of the tournament style seeding that everybody's in. So it means say Tampa Bay Storm and the Portland Steel both don't win a game during the regular season, but then it comes to playoff, they win.
Now, talking about the Predators. Well, you said Tampa Bay Storm.
Yeah.
They played the Predators, right? On Friday, the 13th. Ooh. Sorry.
The war on I-4?
Yeah, the war on I-4. And boy, the Orlando Predators are off to their franchise's best start
7-0.
in 16 freaking years.
And this is just coming back with the new ownership coming in not too long ago. So he's turned the team around.
Yes. And the Tampa Bay Storm, hey, there was a big crowd there, 12,971 at Amway Center.
Yeah, that's in Orlando.
Yeah.
So Orlando is doing good as far as for attendance.
How about Tampa Bay, though? Because
Tampa Bay's been actually down this year.
Yeah, because both Orlando and Tampa Bay in the past,
well, all the Florida teams have been.
They've been really good, yeah.
Yeah, but Tampa Bay's been down this year. I think it may have to be because the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is their sister company owned by Jeff Finnick, they are in the playoffs, and they're in the Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Finals going against Pittsburgh Penguins. So, and I think because of that, the Tampa Bay fans are more concentrated on the NHL team than they are on the arena football team. And then the fact that Tampa Bay, they haven't won a game yet. They're 0-6. So, the attendance is not great there. Could it be because the people are concentrated on the Lightning? Could be. Could it be because possible some of the scheduling of the games. I don't know. Last year Tampa Bay they finished up with 105,000 people attending all their games, all 9 games, and they led the league in attendance last year. This year it's not so great. Orlando's coming up. They're slowly coming up. They're not jumping out, but Cleveland was out. Was out of the gates. Leading everybody with like their first game was 13,000. Then Arizona, after 2 weeks on the road, had 14,000 for their first game. So Arizona's what's surprising me as far as for their attendance. They're doing pretty strong, and they're being a little bit more consistent this year. Last year they were not strong at all. Overall, I think the fact that the attendance is the way it is, after what everybody's demising the league on and hating the league on going down to 8 teams and so forth, and coming in with not only 9 next year, I think attendance-wise it's showing pretty decent, even though the so-called strong football teams, attendance-wise in Florida, are not doing that great, except for maybe Orlando, because now they're showing, like you said, for 16 years they haven't been 7-0. So
which is very surprising to me because they've had some great teams in that city, and I mean when you take a look at it, whoa, they haven't been 7-0 before. I guess that surprises me.
Yeah,
because you would think they would be like, oh sure, they've got 10-0 before, 12-0 before, and stuff. So that kind of surprises me.
This is the 25th year of existence too, Orlando. Same with Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is a relocated team from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but man, Tampa Bay. When you think of arena football of the past, you think Tampa Bay.
Tim Markham.
You think Orlando.
Oh yeah.
With the quarterback.
Jay Gruden.
Yeah.
Well, Jay Gruden was a coach.
Wait, let me rewind. Tampa Bay, he was quarterback.
Yeah, Tampa Bay
and he was coach.
Or Orlando.
Okay, I just want to make that clear. Okay.
And now he's the head coach at Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Which is starting up a new AFL franchise. After being let go.
That's good. That's good. If it doesn't do good in Washington, maybe Gruden could go back to arena football and doesn't even have to sell his house.
Yeah, right down the street, around the corner from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Go to Washington D.C.
Yes,
play at Verizon Center. So, but maybe we could get Jay Gruden on the show. Who knows? We'll talk some of his history that he's had, because he's one of the premier players and coaches of this league's history.
Oh yeah.
So, and then you got Tim Markham, rest in peace, who passed away unfortunately. After serving his multiple years with the Tampa Bay Storm, leading them to the 5 Arena Bowl championships, and then he ventured off his last year. I think it was with the New Orleans Voodoo.
Yeah.
So, as some kind of more of a consultant.
And
coach.
and it's like like you say, rest in peace and everything. I just remember the big games that we would have in San Jose with Tampa Bay, and Tim Markham was there, and that infamous loud cowbell playoff game.
Yeah.
That the networks couldn't hear themselves because San Jose was putting on the
Go ahead and say it. They're no longer around, so.
What's that?
San Jose is no longer around, so we can go ahead and say it.
Well, no, I was just trying to figure out the right kind of word to describe.
Handing out the cowbells?
Well, no, just how loud it was. I mean, it was deafening.
Yeah.
In that
arena.
This
brings us actually to a point to where I saw a posting that Jacksonville Sharks are now going to allow the re-admittance to their horns and their cowbells into their arena, because the Sharks fans, Jacksonville's ninth man, said they want to make it louder in their arena.
So they want more.
So they want
cowbell.
They want more cowbells, but this also factors then the fact that their attendance has gone down this year. Which is kind of surprising, because they went to the Arena Bowl last year, even though they came out and lost. But if you look at the way they started 1-5 last year, and then went all the way up and played into the Arena Bowl, it doesn't hurt that they're already playoff bound this year, but yet their fans are not, showing support. In Jacksonville, come on.
Well, the thing is, it's like that was a tough loss for them. I know, they were up against their backs playing the SaberCats, and
they're matching the SaberCats, until halftime. It was just after halftime they only scored 7 points, and they scored the rest of the game.
Yeah, so it's like it's arguably one of the best SaberCats teams that was ever assembled.
Yeah,
arguably,
arguably,
because we have a lot of players from the past.
Say their team is
Well,
better.
no, I wasn't going there. I was saying that I'm careful to say that because you have to really. I mean, it's hard to compare.
Be careful, your phone might be going off pretty soon.
I know, but the thing is, it's like comparing it, right? It's like the 2002 SaberCats, right?
Yeah.
Arena Bowl 16. Comparing that to even like the last couple years that the SaberCats before the league folded temporarily.
2007, 2008.
Yeah, where they put together two Arena Bowl appearances.
Back-to-back Arena Bowl appearances.
And for a couple of plays, one way or another, they could have had two back-to-back Arena Bowl championships, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of great teams out there that the SaberCats have put together, and I don't want to go specifically SaberCats. Of course, that's where we came from, right?
Yeah.
We were born in the green and gold. But in any case, it's like that was a great team. So they hung in there for half of the game. Great. I know on any given Saturday.
Don't you want to quote that Jamie Foxx movie? Come on now.
Any given Saturday, any team can win and stuff. But that's kind of hard to say which team arguably was the best. So I could see where the Sharks fans would just be like, oh man, big letdown because of the results of that. But you know what? When something like that happens, you're saying, okay, look we made it this far, we almost won it. Let's do double effort this year. Let's get all these fans' participation. Let's
They got most of their players back that they had last year. They signed Grady to a 2-year deal. So
and plus, they got a couple added incentives or a couple added players, thanks to
San Jose Demise, yeah.
Yes.
You got David Highland there.
Yeah, so I mean, so they got they got a good team and stuff, and the good thing about it
Joe
is
Hills is there. He's leading the league.
Oh yeah.
In his reception yardage.
Oh yeah, I remember our little conversations with him last year on the sidelines.
Lined up,
but that's okay though. He was he was a good guy. He was
good guy.
He like at the time he was like all pumped up and everything and stuff, and that's fine. It was all in good. It was all in good.
I'm not going to remember what I say to him when he's like that.
Yeah, but still, he was a good sport about it. He's good. Yeah,
we're just doing all the fun. It's just all fun. Once the
Yeah.
game's over with, we don't care what the teams are. But anyways, one good team that's going to happen, I think that will dominate next year, is the Pittsburgh
SaberCats?
Pulse. No, Pittsburgh Pulse. I think the Pittsburgh Pulse are going to come out. They're going to be an expansion team next year, and they're going to come out and just dominate next year.
So what do you base on that?
Based on the fact that it was a hoax. There is going to be no Pittsburgh Pulse next year. That's why they're going to dominate.
I know. I was waiting for you to say something about that.
That's the one thing we have to talk about. It's like
Yes.
this tweet. I sort of fell about it. And I tweeted out saying that it could have been confirmed, but let me check into the league.
Weren't you already ordering your jersey?
Yeah,
online?
I was going to get my black and yellow, ninth man jersey from them, and make sure it said Pittsburgh Pulse on it instead of Pittsburgh Power.
Yeah, it's funny, right after you gave your credit card number, how all of a sudden it just went beep, 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 error.
Yeah, they said, the credit card went through, so we got the money now. Okay, now let's cancel the team.
Right.
And they were even talking to, Steel City Voice Dom, Erica, who was the PA announcer for the Power, saying, we expected you to come back and do our thing at Consol Energy Center for us, Pittsburgh Bulls, when it was the hoax. And so I reached out to the league office, and and Tom Goodines came out and finally announced the only team that's going to be coming and joining the league next year in 2017 for play is going to be the Washington AFL team. There's going to be no other expansion team. So Sacramento, no. San Antonio, no. The supposed Mexican teams that are supposed to play in Mexico City and Monterrey, they're not coming on next year. Toronto was speculation. New York was speculation. No, none of those teams. The only team that's playing next year is going to be Washington. And from what we talked about I think we mentioned this with our conversation with Tara, but I think it was sort of off our recording on the side that they're going to go back to announcing the teams the way they used to back in the day, where at the end of the league or something like that, they gave a league a new team a whole year to a whole season to get themselves together. So they're basically announcing teams come to play. They're officially in the league, but yet they're not going to play until the following year, like they did with Washington. They announced it, with Ted Leonsis and all them over there in Washington, and Dave Lewis, who does the media for the Capitals and all that stuff, and they announced it there, but yet they're doing the whole 2016 season and off season for the Washington AFL team, to get together and get their things together to come and get the field. They're almost done with the logo. I know the logo's almost done, and yet it's possibly going to be red, white, and blue team colors. So go figure to match the rest of the colors. And then they'll be getting players starting in September when they're allowed to. So when they get free agencies and all that stuff, and
So
that's going back to the rumor about the Pittsburgh Pulse. So the Pittsburgh Pulse, is not official team. There's nothing going on in Pittsburgh. There has been no talks about Pittsburgh coming back into the league anytime soon.
So why don't we give some shout-outs to a couple players?
Where are you going with this?
TT Tolliver.
Mr. 39-year-old?
Yeah, TT Tolliver. Tampa Bay Storm. He just needs 4 more touchdown receptions. And that would give him 100 for his Storm career.
Storm career?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
With 2 different teams. And Chris Jackson, of course, pulled it off with Los Angeles Avengers and Georgia Force. And then also,
Chris Jackson also played in 2014 for the Rattlers at the end. They brought him in just for that one game to beat the SaberCats.
Yeah, can you believe that? What's up with that?
And then he didn't play after that?
Yeah.
That needs to stop. That's another rule that needs to change to where when you're going into the postseason, you go into the players that you have on your roster. You can't bring new people in.
Of course, unless that player totally messes up and it benefits your team, then I guess it's okay after that, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Now let's give a shout out to Nathan Stanley.
Okay, LA Kiss now?
Yeah. 3 touchdown passes short of 100 touchdowns for his career. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
For him not being in the league.
Not too long, no.
So that's
too long. That's his third year, but this is his first year fully starting.
Yeah, true, huh?
I mean, he started for a couple games with the SaberCats until they brought in Russ McNutt.
Yeah, and then of course last year he made some impressive appearances for the SaberCats during the injury.
For Eric Meyer, yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, was it against a Shock? 80-something points.
82 points.
82 points scoring and stuff. I mean,
in Spokane too.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty special there.
Yeah. So he didn't get criticized by those goal line bandits guys that were hovering over the SaberCat bench in the corner, right. As they do for all visiting benches. We're trying to talk smack just to get on their minds.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny when they try to talk smack and you just start laughing in their face, but
and you point up to the scoreboard.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you think about that? Are they positive? Is that a positive situation they got going over there whenever they do that, or
is it? We're Spokane?
Yeah, with the like what you were just talking about, lingering over and stuff. Is it all in good play?
It works because I've heard a lot of the players, not just with the SaberCats, but a lot of the players from other teams are shocked to know how much they know. They're like, where do they find this stuff out? Because they get their research on for the players,
Yeah.
So
I mean, you got to look at that as a positive because
it's all in fun. They do it all in fun, and it's about their house, protecting their house, and being supportive of their team. You got your players,
Because ultimately, what you want to have is an intimidating situation.
You want intimidating. You want it fun, intimidating.
As long as it's all in good nature. Yeah.
If it gets too hard, then you be careful, and then you could be ejected from the arena and possibly arrested.
Yes.
And we don't want that.
No, we want that.
So you looking up other statistics there?
You know what? There's so many statistics. There's so many statistics and everything. I just thought I'd just highlight a couple of them. This is kind of a unique situation because normally we have somebody interview, but now we're just kind of just talking and talk. So it's kind of fun to just throw random stuff out there.
But we look to have actually recording this on a Friday, and this will be going up later tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to be actually flying out to Phoenix to cover the LA Kiss Arizona Rattlers game, and we'll be going there. And I'll be bringing a special adapter to my iPhone to where I can record in good quality audio. Not only just like the standard post press game with Coach Kevin Guy and whatever players they put at the podium after the game, but I will also be happily on Michelle Staples if she shows up to the game. As far as I know, she's showing up to the game. John Staples and how they're going over with Michelle's treatment for her ovarian cancer battle. Now she's done with the surgery, as everything has probably been known through their postings at 1L's Army. That she's going, I think, through 2 days worth of chemo. As far as pictures I see, I don't know if she still has her hair or if that's a hair piece now. I don't know, but as far as I know, she looked like she had some color in her skin. So she's not like ghostly white or however people may react differently to different levels of chemo. I'm not a doctor, so I wouldn't know. But if she's at the game tomorrow, and hopefully John, because they said they're looking forward to seeing me over there and all that stuff, and it's cool. We're gonna exchange conversation, all that stuff. As far as I can, because I'll be covering the game, so I'll probably be walking throughout the entire arena there. But basically, I look to have them on and record them somehow. Maybe at the post game meet and greet they have usually at Marley's Bar and Grill, just a couple blocks away from the arena, that the team has after I get done with the post game stuff, and have them on the podcast for next week. So we look forward to having them in, and we're still praying for hopefully that Michelle keeps on going and everything's going in a positive direction for her recovery from this ovarian cancer battle.
Yes.
So,
that's not fun stuff for anybody. It's we take for granted often, when we're going day to day, complaining about somebody cutting off in front of us or complaining about work or something like that and everything, and it's just like it's like something like this really kind of humbles you.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah, if you want to get a chance to see them a little bit more, and also how they're doing the 1L Army shirts, you could go onto ninthmannation.net, click on Nation TV, and I have 2 players there, whether it be through Vimeo or whether through YouTube. Either one will work. It's the same video that I got from CBS Sports Network. Their little when the Rattlers were playing, I think Portland Steel, and they got time to do like a little sideline report with them. So and they're talking about their battle and all that stuff. So a little good video, and our support definitely goes out to the Staples family, for that, for nothing but positivity there.
Absolutely. So what are you going to wear tomorrow to Phoenix?
To the game? I'm going to wear my 1L's. I'm going to wear my 1L's Army, shirt that I got from them.
Yeah, because it's going to be
I got the teal shirt, and then I was going to surprise. Well, I guess I could surprise them because I don't think they'll listen to this podcast between now and tomorrow's game. Maybe they will. But I also got a 1L's Army, band sent for me. Michelle and John sent me that I received earlier this week. I wanted to say thank you to them, and I was going to do it, but I was going to wait until I flew into the game and thank them in person for the band, but also to show my support. So I'm going to be wearing the blue shirt, the teal shirt. The teal is the color of the ribbon for battling ovarian cancer, like pink is for breast cancer. Okay. So basically, I'll be wearing both of them for the game. You'll see me walking around in the arena.
And are you going to wear a heavy jacket?
Yeah, right. In Arizona? No, I don't think
91
so.
degrees.
I don't think so.
It'll be 91. I think it's 93.
At least I'm avoiding the rain that's supposed to be appearing here in San Jose.
Oh, don't remind me. There's a number of festivals locally here, like what's the one? The one in Campbell, the Bayou.
I know.
Haven't you in the Bayou?
Evening in the Bayou or something like that.
Yeah, so they got that and everything. So that's supposed to be tomorrow.
So there's a lot of things going on.
We got
locally got Sharks hockey.
Oh, Sharks! Yes.
So
that's exciting stuff around here. And I know we're AFL, but to have the Sharks do what they're doing, and of course we don't want to talk too much because they've been known to kind of have the heaven forbid, a curse on them or anything. But
well, they didn't beat that curse. They beat the LA Kings, so that's done.
Well, that wasn't really the curse. It's just it's like
the second year ever in their franchise history they made it to the conference finals. Last time,
and they've never been leading in the conference final.
Yeah,
the conference finals.
They played the Chicago Blackhawks, and they lost to them. And then the Blackhawks went out to the Stanley Cup and eventually won the Stanley Cup that year.
I guess it's. I guess if you're going to lose to a team, they better win the Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. St. Louis is coming, or not coming to town. They've been in town. Maybe we can find where they're staying in the hotel and make some noise or something.
This team staying in the Fairmont downtown San Jose.
Oh, nice, perfect. Right on the way home.
So now going back to this week's games, so we got Arizona versus LA Kiss.
Yes.
That's going to be like the new rivalry with
Rivalry?
rival game now that the SaberCats are out for the Kiss, so there's no NorCal SoCal thing.
NorCal, SoCal.
So that should be actually a better game than anticipated, but Arizona is probably, in a pissed off mood right now. We're losing two games back to back.
Yes.
And the East Coast, they're coming home with a vengeance now, and they're going to play us the LA Kiss. LA Kiss, just got done with blowing the Portland Steel out on a makeshift Monday night game.
So this will kind of show. I mean, if LA comes in, with all their weaponry and decent defense and stuff, this is actually one of those games where it's motivational if they win.
Yeah.
Right. By the same token, Arizona, they're going to be, hey, you know what? We have something to prove here.
Yeah.
We're the Rattlers, and we still have a lot of players intact from our championship run. So it'll be a good game. It'll be interesting to see who shows up on which teams. And
Marquise Floyd is back with the Rattlers. He came out of I guess I don't know when you call it semi-retirement, but he came back and I think he had to replace Kerry Reed, who's out for a while. He sustained a major injury. But as last week's game against Philadelphia, Arizona didn't really have too much protection of Nick Davila, and Davila had to, make some what is surprisingly unwise choices that he doesn't usually make as far as how he throws the ball away, and he was picked off a couple of times.
Well, that just goes to show you it's a lot of people put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and quarterback's, a big key ingredient to the whole mix and everything, but it's a team environment.
Yeah.
So, you don't have anybody to take pressure off the quarterback and give the quarterback time to have the plays develop and the formations do what they're supposed to do. And, you have to start rushing things and everything. You're going to make mistakes. And often, I'm sure as a quarterback perspective, when you throw, it's a timing. And if those players aren't where they need to be because you need to throw it ahead of time, it's often going to be another opposing member of the other team.
Yeah, and same goes with LA Kids. If LA Kids is, from their losses they've had, I can see to where it's been Nathan Stanley not being protected. So that's key right there, like we said. If the LA Kids offensive line, is able to protect Nathan Stanley, I see this as possibly going down to whoever has the ball last kind of thing. Whether it's going to be in a high offensive, high-powered scoring game, back-to-back every single drive, offensive possession, each team will score. I think it's going to rely on that. If the LA Kids can protect Nathan Stanley, I think the offensive weapons that he has with Donovan Morgan and DJ Stevens, it could work out. It could work out big time. And Rory Nixon, their fullback, and don't forget about Rory Nixon because he's a beast to handle when it goes to short yards, or if they need to do a screen pass to him.
So when's the end of the season? End of June?
August.
Not end of August. I'm talking about before the playoffs start.
Oh, before the playoffs start. I think the
End of
playoffs
June?
start around the end of July, beginning of August.
Okay. So would you consider this maybe just past mid-season for the league?
Well, we're at going to be week 8. So,
Yeah.
And there's going to be two bye weeks. So it's an 8 home game thing. So 16. So it's an 18-week season.
Okay, so we're
almost
hitting.
approaching halfway.
Okay.
Week 9 will be halfway.
So you got about a month,
And then
3-4 more games to adjust,
and then we got the July 4th where the entire league takes a week off.
Okay,
July 4th.
so I guess my point is, like in the NFL, December is when you start to build momentum for the playoffs. So in this case, the AFL has about another month, and that's when, all these little glitches and stuff, you need to get them all worked out because now you want to roll into the playoffs with momentum. And I know every team is in there, so it's kind of one of those weird situations that, I'm still trying to get used to. But the thing is, just think about a wild card where there's a team that just happens to go in and, They haven't done maybe what they wanted to do during the season, but they get on a hot streak and all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. And then they end up winning the Arena Bowl.
The NCAAs. NCAAs, you got Syracuse. Syracuse just said, just wait and see. Just get us into the round of 64.
Yeah, you know what? I can't.
I don't really follow NCAA basketball.
Well, just so many teams
but
and
just
everything.
the fact that say, let us just get in there.
Yeah,
Once we're in there and we're qualified, boom, they went from each round, they went all the way up to the finals.
Yeah, now see, the thing is, with
Like,
basketball, there's so many. I mean, you have to be on a tremendous winning streak, right? In order to, things have to go right for you so many times in a row. But with the Arena football, what is there, 2 playoff games?
I think there'll be.
And the Arena Bowl? 3 playoff games in the Arena Bowl?
We got 4 games going on the first round of the playoffs, and then you got 2, and then you got the Arena Bowl. So yeah, you got 2 playoff rounds. You got the conference, or you got the semifinals, and then you got the finals, and then you got the playoffs.
So it's very possible
Yeah.
that a team could be struggling and all of a sudden just go boom, turn it on, and just catch everyone by surprise and just take it all the ways. So with football comparing to like hockey,
So
comparing to basketball, comparing to
Portland
baseball, comparing to any, you never know.
Yeah.
It's anybody's game, and you get the right matchup, the right things happen, you have the right kind of motivation, and then boom, you win a game. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, are we for real? Sometimes it takes unpredictability to go all the ways. So I'm just saying, it's anybody's game.
Portland just got Shane Austin back.
Yeah, it's anybody, literally anybody, any team's game, any team's game
And
coming
it also
in.
depends on how the team is with health-wise approaching the playoffs. A lot of people were saying, well, since everybody out of the gates, or saying, well, since this league has already qualified all their 8 teams to be playoff qualified, why would anybody, risk their starting quarterback like Davila or Stanley or, Shane Austin, for the Steel, or, whoever you have, as their, key star quarterback, Rodamon in Philly. Why would you play them until you're around a couple weeks away from the playoffs to get them, acclimated to the team and then go full blitz or start their starting players? It's because also you got to worry about seeding, because it could be the fact that home field determines. If you have home field throughout the playoffs, it determines on how well you're going to go and get to that round of going to the Arena Bowl.
Nothing like having the home crowd rooting you on.
Yeah, you want your home 9th man, rooting you on. So who we got also for this week on the schedule there?
So you got Portland Steel at Jacksonville Sharks.
So Portland Steel's on the road again, and now this brings me back to another conversation that we can have about Portland, and the way that they had to basically not even reschedule, basically just cancel their week game against the LA Kiss that was supposed to happen back on May 7th.
Yes.
And it was not only just canceled, they couldn't even simply reschedule it, because I guess the Moda Center doesn't have the personnel to where they could flip the arena over in 24 hours from basketball to football, and then flip it back 24 hours later to play basketball again. Because
if I recall, there was a Sharks game on one year. Wasn't the Sharks and the SaberCats?
They were on like on the same day.
It was the same day.
I think so.
And
yeah.
I think the SaberCats game was delayed maybe like 45 minutes or an hour or something.
Yeah.
But the thing, it was like, whoa. So when they go from ice, they have to literally cover it. They got a lot of stuff to do. So it was a little surprising for me. I guess, are we spoiled here in the arena that we have here?
Well, you see other arenas do it. With the LA Kiss at Anaheim Honda Center.
Oh, yeah.
They had their hockey game. The Anaheim Ducks were playing the playoffs.
That's right.
They played when we
the
went
day
down
before.
There, the day before, April 1st. They played a game, the hockey game. The hockey game was over with. They immediately flipped it over to the arena game the next day.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, who was it? I was seeing the field being done the same day. It was Cleveland. This past game they had. Mm-hmm. They were transforming the game, the field, into the arena football configuration.
Yeah.
The day of that game.
Yeah.
So it can be done. It's just the arena needs to have their proper personnel put in place or be trained properly to where they could be efficient to turn the game. So the Portland Steel lost out because of that. They lost out on ticket sales and revenue.
Well, also
Even though
it's
they're
just
owned
like,
by the league, but
yeah.
It hurts the fans.
Well, then suddenly being owned by the league, if that's the case, then suddenly being owned by the league, it's a major disadvantage, and it can't be that way.
Let's say the Portland Steel, there's speculation that the Blazers may be interested in buying the franchise. Let's say that they own the franchise with the same people in place at the Moda Center that are in charge of changing the arena around to whatever configuration.
Then the same thing would happen.
The same thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's the arena personnel. The Portland Trailblazers do not own that arena. They're the main tenants and they're main renters.
Yeah.
But they do not own the arena. It may be the city of Portland that runs and operates that arena and who they get hired. So they need to have more people in place to be able to do the 24 hours. So let's say way to win is like the Portland Trailblazers NBA team played on Saturday. So we're not and that was supposed to be the same time that the Steel,
Thunder.
Yeah, we don't want Emmerich for that one, but the Steel we're supposed to play the game. So okay, let's say we need to reschedule the game. Let's reschedule for Sunday because the NBA takes days off because they want to go one conference on one day and then the other conference on another day. So they want to go back and forth. So the Portland Blazers were to hold the Golden State Warriors there, host the game there at 7:30 at the Moda Center. Fine, they host it. Then on Sunday the 8th, they could have had it flipped over to arena football configuration, have the Steel host a KISS just to have it on the next day, or they could have had it the day before. They need like 5-day minimum or something like that.
Yeah.
So they could have had it the next day, and then they could have played the game, and then they could have maybe like started a little bit earlier, like a 6 o'clock game time, and then they could transform it again back to the basketball configuration, and go on and play the Blazers.
It was unfortunate. It was just unfortunate because the league is on. You would say they would be kind of on life support right now, anyways. And but they have anywhere you look is a good view at that arena. And just to kind of throw it out there, last year Eric and I went to the arena over there in Portland, and the staff was very, very pleasant to work with and to deal with and accommodating everything.
Yeah.
And the fans were awesome. And even though we were opposing team and stuff, we felt like family over there. So my hat's off, to the staff that are working there, and also to the fans that were there because they were really giving us a pleasant experience there.
Yeah, you probably heard a little bean noise. I just got an email actually from the LA KISS. So it's just a Week 8 game preview notes that they send out to me.
Nice.
Also got it from the Arizona Rattlers too.
Nice. Oh, go ahead.
So we're going to continue. It's like we were saying. I didn't want to backtrack, but I had to get that little point of conversation out. If Patera is going to continue with the idea of the primary tenant of said arena to host or own an AFL team, as far as for making the usage of the arena easier on the AFL franchise, it's not going to be like that. It all depends on if that particular said arena has the player person or the employee personnel and the trained people to be able to make the transitions for the game, so the way it doesn't hurt the transition of the games.
Right.
So that's what I was making a point. A lot of these arenas do have that kind of transition. The Jacksonville Sharks, I think, are the primary tenants of their arena. I know they have the Jacksonville Giants, which is like a D-League team or something like that in basketball, but I think the Sharks are more the primary set arena tenants there.
So you have anything else to say about the Steel Jacksonville Sharks game itself?
I believe it could be a better game. The Jacksonville Sharks are on a downward spiral turn right now. They're very inconsistent. They have the players, but Tiger Jones has been out for a little while. But, he hasn't really been the key to a lot of the offensive weaponry. It's been more, Joe Hills. And if Portland could step up with their defense, sort of like the way they did a few times against Cleveland. Cleveland hasn't really shown to be a dominating team this past week or this whole season, really. I think, this could be a chance for, should I say, Portland getting their first win. Especially since you have the second week under Shane Austin offensively to get to know his receivers. And, I think one of the receivers, Gilson, he played with Gilson in Cleveland. So he has a relationship with Gilson, but just also to team up and get better acquainted with, like, Tyrone Gord, because who came from the KISS last year.
So they got they got their hands, they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
but you know what?
Got their work cut out for them.
If Portland comes out with a victory, then it'll be a long-awaited victory.
Long way victory for Portland's nine man. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
they're true dedicated fans, and
They
we want
are.
to see them
they are because I
have
mean,
a decent team, especially after getting the rug pulled out from.
well, also it's like like even like last year they had so much dedication. We know a couple people on the the fan base and just that community, just the energy that they have, the outfits that they bring to the game, and all that and everything. For them to, I mean, it's tough to you have that identity and you have your costumes and you have ready to go, and all of a sudden you're going with a new name and you're going with a new identity and you're going with a new logo and a new theme and stuff.
New colors.
And like their fans really get into it where they literally start dressing for.
Portland is a great AFL community. They need to keep the team there. Thunder, Steel, whatever. Even Terry Emmerich's there supporting because I know he wants the AFL to be there. He loves the game. I've seen him in the game rooting for the Steel. So Portland's ninth man needs to come out and represent and cheer their team on.
And they do.
Yeah, well, I mean, and more. Don't take this for granted saying, well, you're a league-owned team and all that stuff. It seems to me, as compared to past years when the league took over other franchises, say like the Chicago Rush, when they moved them out to a smaller arena, they took off the internet and all that stuff. It looks like this league and the rest of the franchises in those league is supporting Portland basically 110% to have the team. I mean, because you got the Moda Center, which is a regular 18,000 seat arena. They didn't move them to a smaller arena in the Portland area. They didn't cut off the internet. We're still
and they do have a smaller arena next door. I'm not sure if it's equipped to do.
The Rose Garden, I think.
I'm not sure if it's equipped to do arena football, but it's they definitely do have. It's still open. They still have other venues there at the other place.
So they have other places that can host arena football there for smaller venues. They didn't take off the arena jumbotron, and they didn't take off internet access there. The arena's still fully functional, and being fully, presented as far as first service for the fans that do come up there. So, next home game, I want to see Portland's ninth man in major presence there. I want them to blow the roof off the Moda Center.
That would be cool. That'd be awesome.
So we want to see that. And then who else we got?
We got Orlando at Philadelphia.
Well, that's going to be that's the CBS Sports Network game of the week.
Yes, boy. You know what? I have to. Okay, just to kind of let everyone know out there, and you guys probably know this already. I have to look at sheets of information and stuff and everything. And my co-host over here, Eric, he's kind of Encyclopedia Britannica of AFL, and I know the AFL is actually old enough to know some arena fans out there from the '80s know what Encyclopedia Britannicas are. I know this Eric. He isn't as old as I, but
I think it's the other way around. I'm not as old as you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Sure.
CBS Sports and everything. I had to see that on this data sheet, and Eric said, "Oh, that's the CBS Game Sports of the Week and everything." So,
well, it's only because I saw it on their arena football feed. I get the emails.
Well, that's
and
good.
I read them.
So that'll be a good game. Philadelphia, they're much improved. They're a good team. Orlando's undefeated. Something's got to give, and that'll be
Philadelphia.
That'll be a game to
and it's
watch.
a home game there in front of Philly's ninth man. Attendance-wise, they haven't really come out as strongly and as enthusiastic the way like you get from Ron Jaworski. Every time you see Ron Jaworski on TV, it's something like with the Washington AFL saying, "Oh, our fans are ready to do this," and their fans are not even ready to go to their own home games yet. They're barely getting 8,000 to 9,000 in attendance, and what's up with that? And Philadelphia is supposed to be such a strong football community.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like we've been saying like a lot of times, when we talk about this as being real football, Philadelphia fans may think that arena football is not real football. Only the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, that play at Lincoln Financial Field, is real football.
Yeah.
Or any college team like Vanderbilt that's out there. That's real football. But arena football isn't there. They're not accustomed to it. The fans that do show up, God bless you. Thank you for showing up. Take buy one or two people that may have not gone to a game and introduce them. Say, hey, are you available this time? Let's come out to the arena. Let's go check out a game. They'll like it. Once they go to the game, they'll like it. Whether they choose to become a season ticket holders for the rest of the season, or not. I know I saw an advertisement for Cleveland. They're already saying 2017 season ticket packages already. And if you buy your 2017 package, the rest of the season, it's free.
Wow.
But
That's crazy.
Cleveland's already have the majority of their home games done with.
Yeah.
So the rest of, unfortunately, the way the scheduling worked with Cleveland, even one of their home games is going to be moved to Columbus, where the Destroyers play.
Columbus.
So bring back the Columbus Destroyers. Who knows?
Columbus, Ohio. Okay, so that's good.
That's going to be a tough game.
That's
I
definitely
can
a
tell
very
that's
tough
going to
game.
be like one of those back and forth games. I'm thinking as far as for consistency and the way that teams have played,
Maybe Orlando. I don't know. I don't want to predict.
I think Orlando may pull it off.
Orlando. I don't want to predict.
Yeah, I'm thinking Orlando may pull it off.
I'm still on.
Philadelphia already lost one home game.
I'm still on the fence, Orlando. If you ask me.
Okay, not Philly. Okay,
Okay, so and then now we have Monday night.
who?
It's Cleveland
Tampa.
Gladiators,
Tampa.
Tampa Bay Storm,
And it's in Tampa.
Huh?
It's in Tampa, right?
Of course.
Okay, so this is the one. This is the first road game for Cleveland of the year.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? You think I can do it?
Cleveland's coming off a high for another Monday night. They're the long set off, from being a whole week off from Monday to Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Univision broadcast or Televisia Deportes Network broadcast.
Say that again. I like when you say that.
What, Televisia?
No, the other part.
Univision?
No, the other part.
Deportes?
Say it all together.
Which one?
Say it all together.
Televisia Deportes Network.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
Okay, yeah. So it is Televisia Deportes Network on Univision Deportes in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take notes on that, everyone.
Yeah, so that's why it's a UTDN logo, not just the way that the league's been announcing it and putting it. It's just Univision by itself. So with this one, it's going to be tough, and I know attendance-wise, let's already say that it's going to go downhill.
You think it's going to be 10,000?
No, I don't think Tampa's even hit 10,000 this year yet, no matter what day of the week.
But this is a big game, isn't it?
Well, it's for Cleveland because it's their first road game.
Yeah.
And again, will the curse go back and say, hey, Monday night game, home team's going to lose?
Well, plus, it's like not only
And we're
are
already
you,
thinking that maybe...
not
Cleveland
only
might
are you
win.
having trouble packing the arenas, but
Will Tampa
How many
finally come out
people-
with their first game? Will both teams, Portland
But this
and
is the
Tampa, come with their first victories this year?
yeah,
This week, I mean.
yeah. And the thing is, who knows? Maybe it might be one of the lower attendance Monday nights of the game of the season because, it's in Tampa Bay and everything, but I don't know how many. I know if it's a major league sporting event or a playoff game or some kind of something that's really big, they still even have trouble sometimes having Monday night games with the attendance and everything. So it'll be interesting to see
I
how many
think-
people
I
show
think
up.
it
You think
depends.
7,000,
I think
6,000?
maybe around close to just under 9,000.
Okay, so I say I'll say 7. You say 9.
I say just under 9.
Okay, we'll see.
So, but this also, I think the attendance will determine on the Lightning. I mean, the Lightning are down in the series. Well, they're playing right now. They're winning 3-0.
Yeah.
Then the second pair against Pittsburgh, and they're at home right now. So
It'll be interesting to see who of them. Which one of those two?
What I was getting to is
which
that
one of those two
Lightning
teams play the
don't
Sharks?
Play on Monday.
Yeah, but I'm curious which one of those two teams play the San Jose Sharks.
I don't know. That looks like it's going to be a tied series at the end of tonight. So it's 3-0 in Tampa Bay. But what I was getting at for Monday night is that the Lightning play on Sunday, but it's back in Pittsburgh. So let's say if the game was still in Tampa, Florida, of course they have the capabilities of switching the arena over within 24 hours, unlike the Moda Center for whatever reason. But I'm thinking that since the Tampa Bay Lightning play on Sunday and it's in Pittsburgh, that means they don't have a game on Monday. Therefore, the fans are free to show up and cheer on their Storm, which is
Right.
owned by the same owner as Tampa Bay Lightning, Jeffrey Vinnick. So, Storm fans, come on, Storm Surge. That's their fan club out there, Storm Surge. Ninth man, show up to the game. Go to Amalie Arena on Monday night. Get your tickets, they're not that expensive, and support your Tampa Bay Storm this Monday. Let's see. Let's let both Tom and I be wrong in our guesses.
Just remember the Storm of the past. Those great players, the great venues. I know this is not the war against the Orlando Predators, but you know what? Florida loves their football, right?
Remember back in the days when Tampa Bay Storm had 20,000, maybe even 30,000 at the arena because they played at the Tropicana Field,
Tropicana.
Suncast Dome.
Yes.
which is now Tropicana Field, where the Tampa Bay Rays play their baseball games.
Yeah. That
So-
was back in the day. I was like, wow, and that was
They had
crazy.
the Arena Bowl there, and I think it's close to 40,000 at the Arena Bowl.
Yeah, that's
So,
crazy.
come on,
Back in the
Tampa's
day.
ninth man, you need to show up to the Molly and pack that damn arena.
Yes.
Like you do for the Lightning. Show support. And let's get this done. Tom and I both said it's not even going to make 10,000, so prove us wrong. Get at least 10,000.
Yes.
And let's do this for the rest of the year. And now, as far as for who may win the game,
Because
I think-
one of these days, Eric and I might want to go over there.
yeah,
Check out a game.
especially the war on I-4.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
We have a friend that lives out there in Tampa Bay now. Tampa, Florida. He's also a former arena guy. Well, he played more indoor football, not the arena football, but
Yeah.
so and then we could bring him to the game or something like that, with that. So, but yeah, so I'm thinking, this might be the second week in a row that the Monday Night Curse is over with. So I'm thinking Tampa might get their first win of the year over Cleveland.
Especially if they have the crowd in there.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Could by Tuesday, can we see that there'll be two teams now that are not? We'll have everybody have at least one win by Tuesday. All the teams in the league will have one win by Tuesday.
That'd be cool.
So you mean Portland will beat Jacksonville, and then Tampa Bay will beat Cleveland.
That'd be cool.
So
So that's all I got.
that's all we got. Well, of course, like I said, I'm flying out to Phoenix tomorrow. We're going to cover. I'm going to cover the LA Kiss Arizona Rattlers game. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I just got the email from both the Rattlers and the LA Kiss about tomorrow's game preview. So we're going to do that, and of course, we'll have the information on that next week's podcast, and also we'll have a special little insert. The podcast will be live from the Talking Stick Resort Arena. That I'll be pre-recording tomorrow as for next week's podcast with interview with John and Michelle Staples. And their battle's still going. They still need to sell up. So, and if you go on to ninthmannation.net, I still have the widget up there on the right side to where you can donate to their GoFundMe account that I set up. Because the medical expenses hasn't stopped. They can use all the help they can get. So that's it. So be sure to follow us on SoundCloud and subscribe on iTunes to get notification when these podcast episodes, we're well into 1 hour now, release. So be sure to follow us. SoundCloud.com/NinthManNation and at iTunes. So you can go to the ninthmannation.net, scroll all the way down to the foot of the page, and all the SoundCloud, all the podcast sites are right there, including on YouTube. So we'll see you next week. I'm Eric Thoreau.
Tom Jones.
And go to the arena and we'll have a good time.
See you guys.